You won't believe what happened when I said no to her using the community pool. She didn't just get mad, she called the cops. But what happened next? That changed everything. I never thought denying someone pool access could lead to a police visit. Little did she know, I had legal proof that would shut down her whole story. It was a scorching summer afternoon, and the community pool was alive with the laughter and chatter of neighbors soaking up the sun. Children splashed energetically while adults lounged around, enjoying a much-needed break. The atmosphere was calm and welcoming, a perfect day to relax. But that peaceful afternoon was about to take an unexpected turn. She appeared, the infamous HOA Karen, whose reputation for causing trouble was already known to many in the neighborhood. She strutted up to the pool entrance with an attitude that screamed entitlement. As she approached the gate, her eyes scanned the area with a look of determination, ready to claim what she believed was hers. I was manning the entrance that day, checking the list of residents and making sure only those who had paid their dues and followed the rules could enter. The HOA had clear guidelines and everyone respected them, except her. When she demanded access to the pool, I calmly informed her that she was not eligible to use the facilities due to unpaid fees and outstanding violations on her account. I explained that until those issues were resolved, she could not enter the pool area like everyone else who had met the community's requirements. I spoke firmly but politely, hoping to avoid any confrontation. I could already feel the tension rising, but I stood my ground. Her expression quickly shifted from annoyance to outright anger. She scoffed at my explanation and accused me of being unfair, claiming she had every right to use the pool as a resident. I repeated the facts calmly, highlighting the HOA policies she was ignoring. It was clear she wasn't interested in reason or rules. She only wanted what she wanted. As the crowd of pool-goers began to notice the growing argument, whispers and curious glances spread around. People were waiting to see how this would unfold, sensing a potential showdown. Instead of walking away, she grew louder and more aggressive, raising her voice and making a scene in front of the neighbors. She accused me of discrimination and even threatened to escalate the situation by calling the police. I knew the law was on my side, and I stayed composed. This was exactly what I expected, a dramatic reaction meant to intimidate me and force me to give in. But I was ready. I had all the legal documents at hand, including the HOA bylaws, her payment records, and official violation notices she had ignored for months. I wasn't just enforcing rules blindly. I had concrete proof to back up every word. The moment she pulled out her phone and started dialing, I took a deep breath and prepared for what was coming next. This wasn't just about pool access anymore. It was a test of patience, legality, and standing firm against bullying behavior. Within minutes, the police arrived at the community pool, their presence immediately raising the tension even higher. Neighbors gathered around quietly, watching with a mix of curiosity and apprehension as the officers approached the scene. The woman wasted no time explaining her side of the story, her voice dripping with indignation as she claimed I was unfairly denying her a basic right as a resident. She insisted that she had every right to access the pool and accused me of discrimination and harassment. Her tone was loud and confident, as if she believed that simply calling the police would force compliance. I calmly stepped forward and greeted the officers, maintaining a steady voice as I briefly explained the situation. I told them about the HOA's rules, the unpaid fees, and the violations on her record. I assured them that I was simply following the law and the community's agreed-upon policies. The officers listened patiently but asked to see the documents backing my claims. I handed over the HOA bylaws, the payment ledger showing her outstanding balance, and copies of official warnings sent to her over several months. As they reviewed the paperwork, the mood shifted noticeably. What started as a routine complaint quickly turned into a clear case of rule enforcement. The officers explained that she could not simply demand access without following the community's rules, and they gently informed her that the pool was a private facility governed by specific regulations. She appeared stunned, as if she hadn't expected the law to be on my side. The crowd watching from the sidelines began to murmur approvingly, impressed by how calmly I handled the situation and how prepared I was. Despite her protests, the police confirmed that the HOA had the authority to enforce their rules and restrict access when dues were unpaid or violations existed. They advised her to settle her outstanding issues if she wished to regain pool privileges. She reluctantly accepted this, her earlier confidence fading into frustration and embarrassment. After the officers left, neighbors approached me with words of support and thanks. Many shared their own stories of similar experiences, admitting how difficult it was to stand up to someone like her. This incident was more than just a confrontation over pool access. It was a powerful reminder that knowledge, preparation, and calm confidence could triumph over aggressive tactics and bullying. I felt a quiet satisfaction knowing that justice had prevailed without escalating into chaos. The aftermath of the incident rippled through the neighborhood faster than I expected. Word spread quickly about how the confrontation with HOA Karen had played out and how I had calmly stood my ground with legal proof. Messages poured in from other residents, thanking me for defending the community's rules and setting an example of how to handle difficult situations. Some even admitted that they were afraid to speak up themselves for fear of retaliation. The pool area regained its peaceful atmosphere, but the memory of that dramatic day lingered in everyone's minds. People realized that the HOA rules were not arbitrary restrictions, but necessary guidelines to keep the community fair and safe for everyone. I took some time to review the HOA's policies more closely, thinking about how important it was for all residents to understand their rights and responsibilities. It became clear that educating the community about these rules could prevent similar conflicts in the future. I suggested hosting meetings and workshops where residents could ask questions and learn about HOA procedures. This proactive approach helped build trust and cooperation among neighbors, reducing the chance of misunderstandings and power struggles. Meanwhile, HOA Karen continued to avoid any direct confrontations, but was noticeably quieter around the community spaces. Reflecting on the whole experience, I realized how crucial it is to stay calm and composed in tense situations. It's easy to get rattled or angry when someone tries to bully or intimidate you, but keeping a level head can turn the tide. Having solid legal documents and knowledge of your rights is like armor that protects you against baseless claims and threats. I also understood that confronting such behavior publicly sends a message that no one is above the rules, no matter how entitled they may feel. The neighborhood's reaction showed that people appreciate fairness and respect over drama and conflict. This incident also opened my eyes to the importance of standing up not just for myself, but for the entire community. When one person tries to break the rules, it affects everyone. By enforcing the HOA guidelines fairly and consistently, we all contribute to a better living environment. It gave me confidence that sometimes a single calm voice can make a big difference in stopping injustice. I hoped others would be inspired to do the same, and that our community would continue to grow stronger through respect, understanding, and legal protection. A few weeks after the incident, I noticed a shift in how the community interacted with the HOA rules. Many residents became more aware of their rights and responsibilities, asking questions and getting involved in neighborhood meetings. The atmosphere felt less tense, and there was a growing sense of unity rather than division. People began to see that the rules were designed to protect everyone's interests and maintain harmony. Even HOA Karen seemed to have toned down her aggressive behavior, perhaps realizing that she couldn't simply bully her way through anymore. Though she occasionally grumbled, it was clear that the balance of power had shifted. The pool, once a battleground for conflict, returned to being, a place where families gathered and enjoyed themselves without fear or drama. I continued to volunteer my time to help manage community spaces, always ready to enforce rules fairly and calmly. The support I received from neighbors reinforced my belief that standing up for what is right pays off in the long run. There were still occasional challenges, but with everyone better informed and prepared, those moments were easier to handle. Join the QZ Stories family by sharing your own fight against injustice in the comments below.